It is Monday, November the 7th, 2022. Good morning, I'm Pearson Bowen. This is the CBC Morning Report. There's another death in Barbados as a result of gun violence. Last night, around 10:15, law enforcement received a report that a man was reportedly shot and he ran to the Granville Williams bus terminal. It was there that he collapsed and died. Up to late last night, the police were on the scene. Meanwhile, police are also on the case of a 26-year-old Kobe Shepherd of Bedford Lane, Upper Roebuck Street, St. Michael, who was killed yesterday by a drive-by shooting in the city. According to the police communications and public affairs officer Rodney Innes, Shepherd was shot multiple times about his body by a pillion rider on board a motorcycle while he was standing by a house. That incident occurred around 10:40 in the morning at Gills Road. Police say two men on board the motorcycle escaped along Roebuck Street towards Tweedside Road. Shepherd was transported to the hospital by private transport. However, he was pronounced dead on arrival by medical personnel. Lawmen are asking anyone who may have information relative to this incident to contact them via Crime Stoppers at 1-800-8477 or the nearest police station. There is a sizable number of doctors in Barbados who are yet to include medicinal cannabis in their care of patients, but that percentage is reducing. The acting chief executive officer of the Barbados Medicinal Cannabis Licensing Authority, Senator Shanika Roberts-Odell, says as they continue to push the drug as a viable alternative, they would like patients to join in the fight.
We're just waiting to sign the MOU. With them that kind of sets out our relationship and how we're going to work together to ensure that the industry is exactly what it needs to be for the betterment of Barbadians as it relates to the medicine aspects of those things. And we never stopped our engagement with the medical community. Next year, for our anniversary in January, we will be having a forum in which to talk about how things are going, how do they understand the industry and the medicines, and to be able to continue to provide education from those who would have used it for various kinds of treatments, and to be able to put that information before the medical community, before the pharmacists, the nurses, and the doctors. So that is also very much part of our mission, to educate as we move forward, to be able to move the industry forward, and to make sure that Barbadians and our various stakeholders come with us. The question was asked, you're going into this industry about something that we're all told to stay away from. And it proved to be that we need to be able to speak to them because we have to be able to address what they may view as a hypocrisy. We have to be able to educate them about how we're doing this, why we're doing this, and why this is a medicine for medicinal use at this point in time. And how we want them, or the National Council on Substance Abuse, may want them to be able to be aware of the distinction and the difference. Has been building. We would have done our very best. As I indicated earlier, we met with a lot of these stakeholders very early in this process. And the medical community would have been a significant stakeholder in this. We would have done an IRB study. And we went through various medical practitioners to kind of look at, what they thought about this, what they were willing to do, how they plan to integrate that into their particular practice. And one thing I can say is that you will have persons who are on board and some who aren't on board. But what I find is that more and more medical practitioners are coming on board, more pharmacies are coming on board, and there are a lot of nurses, I find, who are very ready to look at medicinal cannabis and to be able to integrate that into their treatment of individuals. One of the things we have two medical persons, we also have a pharmacist on our board. And those kinds of perspectives have also helped us in how we relate to the medical community and how do we share information. And the medical community themselves, because there is a great advocate we have out there. That's patients. Patients are important. There are a lot of patients who have taken the time to research medicinal cannabis. They felt their pain. They felt all of the various issues and side effects they have from other kinds of medication that they're taking. And their position sometimes when they go to their doctor is, look, I've researched this. I want to try this. And a patient is their own best advocate sometimes, because that then forces a doctor who may have been, a little less interested to say, okay, let me take some time. Let me look into this. And then I will determine whether or not I feel that this is best for you.
Senator Roberts Odell was on Sunday's one-on-one program on TV8 and noted that there's one category of medical personnel which is reportedly on board with medicinal cannabis. That group is a group of doctors and nurses involved in palliative care on a daily basis.
They have been advocating and they have been issuing. And I think because it's not done in a big splash where no one puts up a big billboard saying, I've issued medicinal cannabis. Yep. Some people may have been missing that. But next time you walk into your pharmacy, take a look, ask the question.
The CEO says there's a plan to get more buy-in from pharmacists as they've prepared a memorandum of understanding with the Ministry of Health and the Drug Service. All right, we'll take a break here on the Morning Report, but coming up, Dominicans go to the polls in a month.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
Dominicans will go to the polls on December the 6th. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit made that announcement last night in an address to the nation.
I want for the year 2023 to begin with a fresh mandate given to a fresh Labour team to commence the work of building post-COVID Dominica. With this in mind, today I wrote to His Excellency the President and advised he dissolves the current Parliament of this country effective immediately. I have asked that a fresh writ be issued on Monday, 7th November 2022 for the holding of general elections in the Commonwealth of Dominica. The Dominican Labour Party will reveal its new look slate of candidates in Roseau on Tuesday, November 8th. Nomination day in Dominica shall be Friday, the 18th of November 2022. General Elections Day in Dominica, the day on which the Labour Party will be seeking a fresh mandate with a fresh team, is Tuesday, 6th December 2022.
Well, that announcement comes just 1 month after the leader of the opposition, Lennox Linton, resigned from his position. The government of Iran has confirmed that it did supply the Russian military with drones, but says they are prior to the start of the war in Ukraine. The Ukrainian government has reported that Iranian drones have been used to attack civilian and energy targets.
We gave a limited number of drones to Russia months before the Ukraine war. We agreed with the Ukrainian foreign minister that they submit to us any evidence they have about Russia using Iranian drones in Ukraine. The Ukrainian president accused Iran of lying.
We are shooting down at least 10 Iranian drones daily, while the Iranian regime claims that it allegedly provided a few of them before the start of the full-scale invasion. Only yesterday, 11 were destroyed. If Iran continues to lie about the obvious, it means that the world will make even more efforts to investigate the terrorist cooperation between the Russian and Iranian regimes, and what Russia pays Iran for such cooperation.
What we do know is Kyiv says drones have been used to strike Ukraine's cities and energy facilities, adding to the ever-growing number of civilian casualties. Anna Sukhova knows her brother is dead. She just doesn't know where his body is. By giving a DNA sample at this mobile laboratory, she hopes to be one step closer to resolving her anguish. When Russian troops occupied Izium, the casualties were put in a mass burial site, many with just numbers to identify them.
We were not allowed to enter the gravesite. The military were there and guarded the gravesite. We were not allowed there. I know only the number of the grave. We thought that everything would calm down and then we would go there and find his grave, tidy it up, but we couldn't.
Anna is not the only bereaved relative searching for answers. These photos are all that is left of the victims from the missile attack on this apartment block. In life and in death, the couple were together.
There was nothing left of the bodies. The concrete slab fell on them. There was a couple that was hugging. They probably felt that was coming. That's how they were identified, because only they could be hugging.
All eyes are now on the front lines. The Ukrainians say they've taken a village in Kherson, moving one step closer to the regional capital. Pro-Russian authorities in Kherson say that they have seen an escalation in artillery shelling over the last week, but say the front lines remain the same. But what we do know is that Kherson is very important to the Russians. It's the only regional capital they've managed to take since the start of the war, and the Ukrainian military believe they won't want to give it up without a fight.
Residents in the Ukrainian capital of Kyiv are determined to rebuild their homes and lives in defiance of Russian military aggression. Al Jazeera's Harry Fawcett shares the story of one family saved by their 9-year-old son.
My flat, as you see, it still doesn't have even a door.
Alexei Morozov is looking to the future, one where a treasured past in this apartment will be rebuilt.
Of course, it was not a flat, it was a big hall here, and with lots of dust and lots of glasses around.
On the third day of the war, these images were seen around the world, a shocking demonstration that civilians in Ukraine's capital were in the firing line. Alexei and his family had moved to a nearby bomb shelter only hours earlier.
It's more strange, it's more amazing that my children asked me to move. Sorry. My boy, he's 9 years old, and he doesn't understand what does war means.
Alexei and his wife Maria lived here with their daughter and 2 sons. It was their youngest boy, Mykola, who came to them the night before the strike.
He went to our bedroom here and asked us, parents, please, let's go to the shelter, because the television tells us that it's a safe place and we have to move. And we moved.
It's extraordinary. I mean, how do you reflect on that now? I mean, that's...
Now I understand that the God exists.
The floor, peeled away and hanging in the void, was the one that supported his son's bunk bed.
So if my boys would sleep in this room this night, I'm sure, yeah.
He and his fellow residents raised tens of thousands of dollars in the days after the strike to buy supports to keep the building intact. Now the Kyiv city government is funding the reconstruction of all the affected floors. What happened here back in February was a stark symbol of the sheer scale of the war that was coming to Ukraine. The efforts to rebuild here are, of course, pragmatic and required for those who used to live here, but they're also symbolic for a country that wants to demonstrate resilience. Can you still visualize it in your mind, what it used to look like?
Of course, I remember how it looked.
For Alexei, there are no doubts about returning here. He wants to put his old apartment, his family's life, back together as it was.
If our angel was so strong to prevent us from this rocket, we do not scaring nothing. We were scaring nothing here.
This war may be grinding on into the winter, but for Alexei and his family, an important personal victory is in sight.
Coming up in just a little while on Morning Barbados, we'll be joined by the Barbados Diabetes and Hypertension Association just ahead of World Diabetes Day. Under the theme, Education to Protect Tomorrow, we'll hear what's on the calendar of events. Controversial talk show host Peter Wickham will join us this morning as we hear about his plans and the future. And also this morning, we'll hear more about the Barbados Deaf Calypso project. You should not miss it when they join me at 6:30 for Morning Barbados. We'll take a break right here on the Morning Report. We're back in just a moment.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then
Education Minister Kay McConney has confirmed the island's education system is being transformed. She made that point to hundreds of graduates of the Barbados Community College over the weekend. CBC's Shane Jones reports.
From around 4:30 in the evening, the crowd started to build at the gymnasium as family members and friends anxiously waited to see their loved ones receive their scrolls after months and years of hard work. Then it was time for the procession of the graduates. Here they are, entering the facility for their big day. It was a grand occasion as members of the Barbados Cadet Corps displayed the flags of the region. Principal Annette Alleyne congratulated the students and staff of the BCC for adapting to the circumstances to succeed in spite of the COVID-19 pandemic.
The Student Affairs Department, for instance, continued facilitation of the online application and registration. We had a part-time nurse hired to assist the one full-time nurse in the Students' Health Clinic. The Counseling and Placement Center, though functioning predominantly in a virtual environment, conducted orientation sessions for first-year students and parents. And in addition to the other services provided, they offered grief support as well as COVID-19 support.
During her address, Education Minister Kay McConney said her ministry has been working to transform the educational system by introducing a new 22-point strategic plan that outlines the way forward over the next 5 years.
An important goal is modernizing and transforming the school system and our national curriculum so that it is responsive not only to national development needs, but also it's aligned with local, regional, and international best practices and standards. And part of the effort is creating and implementing meaningful, rigorous, and relevant curriculum. And within the last few years, I am proud to say that BCC expanded its curriculum.
Valedictorian Ajada Pilgrim gained a Barbados exhibition, receiving her associate degree in science with distinction, with a grade point average of 3.952. She shared some of the challenges experienced along the way with fellow graduates and inspired them to overcome theirs.
As I faced the walls of that educational institution in the Ivy, for the first time in August 2020, my first goal was set. I was determined to complete the associate degree program in natural science, regardless of my limitations. As my time at the college swiftly passed, my confidence in my abilities slowly returned. This encouraged me to set additional goals. I felt the need to maximize my opportunity at the Barbados Community College. I decided to pursue the goals which I failed to accomplish at the end of my secondary school career. Therefore, I sought to accomplish a national academic award. I also set my sights on being the valedictorian for the year 2022.
819 students graduated in the class of 2022.
Shane Jones there reporting. 42 Barbadians are new recruits of the Barbados Defence Force. They successfully completed recruitment and training in a range of areas over the past 4 months and officially completed the transition at St. Anne's Fort during the BDF's passing out parade. While praising them for their impressive display and sharpness, Home Affairs Minister Wilfred Abrams underscored the importance of their roles.
You, 42 new members of the Barbados Defence Force, will be called to service to assist in the ongoing fight against the scourge of illegal gun violence within Barbados, or to protect our borders from transnational illicit trafficking. Additionally, there's a possibility that you may be deployed to an RSS or CARICOM member state on a joint and combined mission with security, engineering, humanitarian assistance, and other disaster response operations. The citizens of this country require you to remain focused, steadfast, and fully capable of undertaking any challenges that may come your way during your military career.
Chief of Staff Lieutenant Colonel Carlos Lovell welcomed them in the force but encouraged them to be always striving for excellence.
Please be cognizant that you will be required to prove yourself time and again to your peers, to your superiors, and more importantly, to the people of Barbados. As the newest members of the BDF, your conduct, your values, your leadership, and your example will always be under scrutiny, recognizing that the citizens of Barbados hold the BDF to a very high standard. From this day forward, your mission as members of the force is to strive for excellence in everything that you do.
Ross University and its local partners got together just recently to offer free health clinics in Queen's Park. Wendy Burke reports.
It was an exercise where 3 student rotations comprising 200 Ross students, faculty and staff and service organizations came together to provide health services.
We have a number of students rotating here this morning. We will have 3 rotations of students. So pretty much we will have about over 200 students along with faculty, along with other staff and the service organizations providing healthcare to the public.
Himar Safri, president of the Barbados Alliance to End Homelessness, says this fair is a first. They're working with Ross through the free clinic they provide his organization to benefit more.
We thought to just bring it here Queen's Park, where everyone in the health fraternity can come and get an opportunity to serve people. So we will be serving the homeless community, also with the general public, those that want to pass through today and just have health checks. So we're just happy to be here. We're happy to just give the community and Barbados at large free health tests today.
There were haircuts on offer through the HIV/AIDS Man Aware program, breast screening talks, breastfeeding information, demonstrations on CPR by the Barbados Red Cross, and a number of other health services which the public took advantage of.
You can come down to Queen's Park on your free will. You don't have to pay, and you can get your health really checked out, which is good.
I think it's a good idea. And they're very helpful and productive. And it's good for Barbadians.
The advice and health checks were appreciated by the public.
Wendy, thank you. As Belize rebuilds after being impacted by Hurricane Lisa's passage, we hear now a report where reconstruction of a home for the elderly in Belize City is on the way.
Jeff Carpenter, owner of Carpenter's Woodworks from Orange Walk, traveled to Belize City looking for somewhere he could extend a helping hand. After hearing the news of the elderly home, he and a team of 16 volunteers got to work.
We wanted to help with here in the city some way, and Alton Thompson works for me. He had seen it on Facebook that the roof had come off, And so yesterday we just came by to see if we could see what was here. So we said that we could help.
Carpenter says that they are hoping that they can have the roof up by the end of the weekend. Caribbean Shores Area Representative Karim Musa stopped by the home to offer support so that the project can be completed swiftly and the city's golden citizens can have proper shelter.
I am so very encouraged by the outpouring of support, especially in my constituency, to see neighbors coming out for one another, to see volunteers coming out and giving of their time to the Sister Cecilia home here in our constituency. As you know, we have a number of displaced senior citizens, and we have to work as fast as we can to get them proper shelter, secure shelter, and that is exactly what we're doing. As you could see here, we have a lot of private sector involvement. The Prime Minister has pledged his full support last night to say whatever materials we need, they will be coming in today to help to get the roof back and whatever other areas that need reinforcement. We also have Mark Usher, who is coming here right now, along with other engineers who want to offer their support to make sure that we have a very secure roof installed here at the Sister Cecilia home.
Minister Musa adds that we are our brother's keeper during this period of recovery, and seeing generosity from one Belizean to the next is one of the most encouraging part of being on the ground. He emphasized that this is how everyone will be able to make it through this trying time.
All right, let's take a look at some sports now. India beat Zimbabwe by 71 runs to top Group 1 in the final match of the ICC T20 World Cup Super 12 match on Sunday to set up a semi-final against England. Yadav hit a blistering unbeaten 61 from 25 balls to spur India to 186 for 5 after opting to bat first. Here's a look at the highlights.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up.
Morning Barbados will be coming to your parish live every Friday until November. Stay tuned from 6:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. to see which parish we're in. Join us for it all.
Good morning, morning Barbados, good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up, morning to you.
Come on, you family, make some noise. Are you ready?
Q in the Community is on every Thursday in a community near you.
Q in the Community is well and alive.
Come on down and, have a line with all of me. The more mature folk come to dance, to sing.
Keep the bones smooth.
Q in the Community is your place to meet friends, to socialize, and just to be you.
Yes, come on down and take in the karaoke.
Whether you're coming from north, south, east, or west, we have a bus for you.
Q in the Community.
Stay tuned to Q100.7 FM to find out where we will be next, and follow us on Facebook.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
While you go about your business, we go about our business.
We're held to 115 all out of 17.2 overs, with Ashwin taking 3 for 22. So the semi-final schedule looks like New Zealand versus Pakistan on Wednesday, while on Thursday, India versus England. Here's a look now at some forecast conditions as recorded earlier at the Met Office of the Grantley Adams International Airport. At the moment, we in Barbados are under partly cloudy conditions with a slight haze, 26 degrees Celsius, humidity 90%. The barometer reads 1011.7 millibars. The winds are coming from the east-southeast at 24 kilometers an hour. We have a low tide schedule for 19 to 9 this morning, the second at 20 past 9 tonight, and a high tide at 5 to 3 this afternoon. Heading to the seas today, moderate and open water, swells ranging from 1.5 to 2.5 meters, but decreasing. In the forecast for Barbados today, there's a mix of sunshine and clouds with the occasional brief scattered light to moderate showers. While for tonight, the forecast is a mix of clear skies and clouds with the occasional brief isolated light showers. A look now at some forecast conditions for international cities. And that's it for today's edition of the CBC Morning Report. I'm Pearson Bowen. Morning Barbados starts now.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Well, hi there and good morning to everyone. Welcome to today, a brand new week, brand new day, Monday, the 7th of November, 2022. I'm Pearson Bowen, welcoming you here, there and everywhere. Thank you so much for joining us on our streams on YouTube and Facebook. Always good to see you there. And we encourage you to continue interacting, not just with yourselves, but with us. We love to hear your comments ever so often. Now, coming up today, Monday, we'll get a chance to hear a little bit more from the winner of the just concluded Gimme Peace Money Mic competition right here on TV8. He will join us as we celebrate with him that success over the weekend. We'll also be encouraging you to slow down. Now, that's an order given to many, but there's the name of a song as well, and so the artist who's singing Slow Down will join us this morning. Who is he? Stick around to find out. Of course, No Barbados and Win will be on, the Bajan Sayings and Meanings will be on, so opportunities for you to interact with me. The Barbados Deaf Calypso project is up and running. You need to hear more about that as we will make a loud sound about it, so stand by to hear how you can be a part of it. We'll also be today hearing from the controversial talk show host Peter Wickham. He'll join us in just a moment. But let's get started this morning with joining with the Barbados Diabetes and Hypertension Association of Barbados just ahead of World Diabetes Day, and we want to hear more about how they're planning to mark the occasion. Joining me now is Deirdre Wood, who is a Lion, who is with the Lions Club of St. Michael, and Trudy Griffith, who is the president of the Barbados Diabetes and Hypertension Association. Good morning, both of you.
Good morning, Pearson. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you for asking. I hope you are well too. Trudy, I'll start with you because the theme for World Diabetes Day is Education to Protect Tomorrow. That's a very heavy set of words. What do you think it means?
Well, the thing about it is that for the last 3 years, that's for the period 2021 to 2023, the International Diabetes Federation has selected the overarching theme, Access to Diabetes Care. If you remember, Pearson, last year we would have observed the 100th anniversary of the discovery of insulin, which truly revolutionized the treatment of diabetes. So we're looking at access to diabetes supplies, but now this year we're turning our focus to education. A lot of persons have heard of diabetes and they have some ideas about what it is. Some persons have some erroneous ideas. And this year we really want to highlight that education is important to self-management, control, and prevention of complications which can cause premature death.
Self-management, control, and avoidance. But you need to know. And so that's where the education comes. What is it, when we say diabetes that you're managing, what is it that predisposes one to diabetes as well? So on your calendar of activities to mark the occasion, are you going to be having those sessions where people can get to know more?
That's correct. So next week is really when things get into full focus. So on World Diabetes Day, next Monday at 7 p.m., we have the John Grace Memorial Lecture and Panel Discussion. We've invited a diabetes educator and advocate from the UK, Tony Kelly. He's been living with diabetes for more than 10 years and he has never had to take medication. So really and truly, in Barbados, where we think that this is a death sentence, at least that's what some persons think, here he is, a living example of what can happen when you become truly involved in the management of your diabetes. So I'm encouraging everyone to come out to the Lloyd Erskine Sandyford Center next Monday at 7 p.m. where we're going to stage that lecture so that every Barbadian can benefit. And then we close out the week on the 18th of November with a Diabetes Expo. when we're bringing together lots of diabetes experts and stakeholders from across the island, so that that's a one-day opportunity for you to come and learn about diabetes and to really understand exactly what you need to manage your diabetes.
I think those are two very signal activities in those 2 days. But I like the fact that
Oh,
Mr. Kelly will come. You know, a diabetic who's listening right now think, how could one live with diabetes and not take medication? Because we link the two every time, that there's no other way to manage one's diabetes other than through medication. But this gentleman is coming and he'll give a chance to share his experience through it all. Yeah. But you know, when we hear the diagnosis, immediately we get scared because we hear all of the other stories surrounding that diagnosis. Would you also be providing opportunities for people, not just through Mr. Kelly's lecture, but to be counseled when they receive the news?
Oh, yes. Definitely. So during that expo, which starts at 10 a.m. in the morning and runs to 10 p.m., so you have the whole day to come and learn. We are going to have persons giving lectures, and then they will also give one-on-one sessions so that you can get personal advice for yourself in terms of what you need to help yourself.
And of course, the Barbados Diabetes and Hypertension Center is associations also available to assist where necessary. But why did you link the two, by the way, diabetes and hypertension? Why the joining of the two?
So the thing about it is that obviously when we started in 1975, the focus was on diabetes. But over the decades, we've realized that hypertension affects Barbadians even more than diabetes does. In fact, we have approximately 1 in 3 adults in Barbados living with hypertension. And therefore, we thought it necessary to extend the same suite of services to persons living with hypertension that we do with persons living with diabetes. So it's a natural collaboration, and therefore we offer those services not just to persons with diabetes, but also with hypertension.
One of the activities when one manages one's diabetes is exercise. And so I know there's an activity on the slate of events for next week as well that would encourage people to come out and engage in the walk and run. And so joining us to talk a bit more about that is Deidre. Well, Deidre, this is your pet area. Let's talk a little bit about that and the value of exercise, first of all, to diabetes control, and then walk through the mechanics of the 5K walk and run.
Sure. Exercise is known that it helps to lower your blood sugar. So one of the mandates of Lions Club International is that we empower the community's health and well-being, and we also strengthen the community. So we decided to partner with the association to assist them in bringing awareness to the community about diabetes and about the benefits of exercise. So we decided to do a walk, and we're going to have a walk on the 13th of November, which is on a Sunday. We're assembling at the YMPC's, thank you very much, the YMPC Beckle Road. And we're going to have a warm-up, and it's going to be done by body up aerobics. And then we're going to have a workout session afterwards by Barbados' own workout cultural ambassador, Spinny. So the cost is $30, and that includes a shirt. And I would love to encourage all persons to come out and support the Lions Club of St. Michael, along with the Diabetes and Hypertension Association of Barbados, the Barbados Diabetes Foundation, and also the Breastfeeding and Child Nutrition Foundation of Barbados.
Indeed. Registration, you said, is $30, and it includes a shirt. But how can one register for the 5K walk and run?
Registration can be done at any of the entities that they saw just now, the three organizations, and also at our location, which is located at the Den, at the Blind and Deaf Center in St. Paul's Avenue.
All right, this is great. So here it is then. We're going to register for all of it. Sure you may, Trudy.
I can just add here. If persons cannot come out to us, they can also register online. So you can visit our digital platforms on Facebook or Instagram, etc. And you can click on that link that will take you to the registration form that you can complete online.
while there are prizes to be won, it's not a race. It's not a case of I got to get there first, and if I don't get there first, then I don't finish. You know, we want to encourage as many people as to get active, get moving. That's the whole point. Register in large groups, register in small groups, register as a church group, as a family, register. And in registering, just hit the road walking. You said to assemble at the YMCA there in Pinfold. I think it is in Pinfold Street. Where are you going to be?
The YMPC in Beckles Road.
Or YMPC in Beckles Road.
Yeah.
And what's the route?
The route, we are going to be going up Beckles Road, turning left at Culloden Road, going across to Belleville and then to Belmont. Then we're going to go down to Carlton Village, into town and across the bridge, back up Bay Street, and then back at YMPC.
Oh, that's an easy route, man. We can handle this, folks. Yeah, right.
But I guess I'm going to take a person.
Yes, please. We want you to warm up, though. And so there's a warm-up session. What time does, again, remind us of what time the 5K walk and run starts, and what time should we get there for the warm-up?
Well, it's going to start at 4 o'clock. The walk is going to start at 4 o'clock, but we encourage persons to get there for 3:30, and the warm-up is going to be around 3:45.
Right.
You know, getting everybody mobilized and getting your joints and everything warm to start hitting the road.
Of course. And of course, you know, Trudy, bring your water, because diabetics need to drink some water. And if you bring a little something that's a little sweet, if you feel a little bit offset, bring a little mint or something, right, Trudy?
That's correct. That's what we always encourage persons to do. You always have to be aware of what can happen. You never know what to expect, and be prepared. Obviously, we will have healthcare professionals on hand in the event that someone falls ill, but certainly this is part and parcel of what you need to do to manage yourself. Be aware.
Indeed. I want to talk about the 10 to 10. That's what I'm going to call it right now. We have a 10 to 10 FET. We're having a 10 to 10 Expo at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Centre. And break that down for us as well, because that, to my mind, sounds as if it's going to be quite an interesting day.
Yeah, so the thing about it, a lot of persons, when they think about diabetes, they think about the medication, as you said earlier. But it's not just about the medication. It's about taking care of all of your body parts. So your eyes, your brain, your teeth, your heart, your kidneys, your feet, your skin, everything. Because when your blood sugars are not under control, that excess blood sugar that you have is going to affect your organ systems and cause damage. So we want you to come and appreciate what the healthcare professionals and the experts are going to share with you in terms of how you need to look out for yourself every day.
And
so it's time to come up.
Yeah, and don't say to yourself, well, she could have or he could have diabetes, but certainly not me. But I'm tiny by comparison with them. No. Don't make those kinds of assumptions. While a lot of those things are also factors, they're not the singular factor alone. So come to the expo, and I don't want people to think, what I'm trying to do is not have people think that it's only for people with diabetes. It's for everyone.
Correct. Everybody.
And children included.
Children included, there's no admission fee. So therefore, you're free to come out 10 to 10, right, person? And please come out in your numbers, because we want to share information. We recognize that over the last 2.5 years, particularly with the COVID-19 pandemic, we have seen a rise in our numbers of persons who are living with diabetes. And therefore, we want persons to live the very best life that they can. And that can only happen when your diabetes is under control.
So as you're planning your time, folks, this is happening on the 18th of November, which is almost here at the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Centre from 10 in the morning till 10 in the evening. You can spend the whole day. And while you're there, you're going to be going from booth to booth to booth to booth, and you'll be engaging in lecture sessions and breakout sessions as well. But you'll get to meet other people who may have a story to share that's very much like yours. You learn from each other. You benefit from that association and interaction as well. Bring the children, bring the family, because management and care of diabetes does not require simply the patient alone or the person living with diabetes alone. It requires everyone within the household, because there are going to be some changes, aren't there, Trudy?
Oh, yes. So I want to encourage workplaces as well. We want to start a program in the new year where we encourage employers to get their employees to really take care of themselves. We know that because of the pandemic, there's a lot more work to be done. Perhaps there are less employees, But it's really quite important that you take care of yourself, because that day may come when you hear that news and you're like, where did this come from?
Yes.
But we have to look at what we've been doing to ourselves. Stress, well, we think that we can manage stress and we're going about our days and we think we're coping well. We may be coping well, but our bodies are not. So it's quite important that we look at ourselves, look at our lifestyles, look at our habits, and see where we can make those changes, where we can encourage ourselves and those around us to really take care of themselves so that they can lead their best lives.
They truly are silent. You just don't know. And I can testify to that. You just don't know until something happens. And then you realize, oh my goodness, I was a ticking bomb and I did not know. And so knowing is important. Knowledge is therefore absolutely critical. And so pay attention to what's going to be happening every day. But pay attention to what's happening as we lead up to World Diabetes Day as well. And that's why it's important that everyone comes to the expo on the 18th. That's why it's important that everyone pays attention to the lecture, which is on the 14th. And that's why it's important that everyone comes to the 5K run and walk, which happens then on the 13th as well. So there's a lot to pay attention to. Prizes to be won, but registration starts even as we speak. You can register at the Diabetes and Hypertension Center Association of Barbados. You can register at the Barbados Diabetes Foundation. You can register at the Breastfeeding and Child Nutrition Foundation of Barbados. You can register with the Lions Club of Bridgetown. You can register online as well. Registration is on. With registration for $30, you get a t-shirt, but you get a chance to win some prizes as well. It starts at around 4 o'clock at the YMPC on Beckles Road. But the warm-up session is before that, 3:30 or thereabouts. That's where we're going to be. That's where we're going to be for the warm-up. And then we hit the road for 5K. It's not a race. It is just a moment that we get active, we get moving, and perhaps it's the start of a new regime as well. Spinny will bring it all down when it's done. And you can't imagine how Spinny can warm you down, but he will warm you down right after the walk in that workout with Spinny, because you don't just, as we say, dead stop. You just want to keep the muscles as they warm down and you remain as active as you possibly can. This is going to be quite a week ahead. I know you start truly with the church service as well.
Yes, definitely. We cannot forget about God. Without Him, we are nothing. And we have to recognize that despite whatever happens while we're on this earth, we have to continue to recognize Him as our Lord and Savior.
Amen.
And that there's nothing we can achieve without Him. So we're asking Him for His blessings upon us, and that we can continue the work that we have started 47 plus years ago.
Preach it, sister, preach it, indeed. All right, folks, so that's it. But thank you so much, Trudy. Thank you so very much, Deidre, as well. I wish both of you very much success. And, of course, we want to hear more as we draw nearer to World Diabetes Day, because we want to bring it even more central in the minds of everyone. So we will be connecting with you a little later on to continue the education and to continue the awareness as it relates to diabetes awareness and education for tomorrow, to protect tomorrow. Thank you so very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much, Kirsten.
My absolute pleasure indeed. Trudy Griffith, the president of the Barbados Diabetes and Hypertension Association, along with Lion Deidre Wood, who is with the Lions Club of St. Michael. And they're encouraging as many of you as possible to pay attention. Go onto the social media platforms of the Barbados Hypertension and Diabetes Association and get to know more about how you can be a part of all of the activities. But we here at Mornin Barbados will continue to keep it foremost in your mind. It's 11 to 7. We're going to take a break, but as we do, have you heard that new jingle for NIFCA, by the way? The NCF has produced a brand new jingle featuring artists like Shantae, Aline Clark, Mahalia, Sunrock, Shadia Marshall, and Jabari Brown. If you have not heard it, take a listen.
Tradition.
culture burst inside as we share it worldwide. Watch as we collide, the voice amplified, buckle up for the beard and
It could be on any topic that you walk up on. Social commentary, the land or the sea and sun. The sweet food that we eat or we sing a song. And we up on the stage to the place shell down.
So put on your dancing shoes and if you can let loose, show the world the culture and move. Back with variety, sweet poetry, visual artists and food.
So come show your art, boy, in some awards, boy.
Nifka is for all Bajans to jump up on top the people's stage and just show off. Come let me show off. Come let me show off. Nifka belong to all of we. Come let me show off. Come now let me show off. Come let me show off. Nifka belong to all of we. Come let me show off. Come let me show off. Come let me show off. Nifka belong to all of we. Come let me show off. Come let me show off. Come let me show off. Nifka belong to all of we.
Come let me show off. Nifka belongs to all of we. We'll take a break here on Morning Barbados. We're coming back with more in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
Because you love English Premier League, MCTV has got it back. Now you can watch all the games of the English Premier League plus UEFA and NFL on MCTV. Current customers can upgrade to Maxback Extra at just $23. Call MCTV today at 228-6288 to upgrade or come in and sign up for a new service. Football fans, let MCTV get you back in the game.
When disaster threatens, it is comforting to know there's a team working to deliver credible, comprehensive, and up-to-date information. A team that is committed to serving you. A team that will be there before, during, and after the disaster. That is Team CBC, here for you this hurricane season.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We are 6 minutes away from 7 o'clock this Monday morning, the 7th of November, in the month of nationhood. And so, I have some Bajan sayings. Do you have the meanings? I'd like to hear from you. You know what to do. The instruction is that once I give you the saying, I would like you to interpret and call me on 228-5562 or 228-5563. So the saying, you give the meaning. 228-5562 or 228-5563. So here we go. The first one. Never walk ground for monkey run pun. That's probably for St. George. Never walk ground for monkey run pun. Never walk ground for monkey run pun. And I know that all of you who are visitors to our island, you'll say, what utter nonsense is that? Well, we'll tell you in just a moment. It has a meaning. 228-5562 or 228-5563. What does it mean when we say never walk ground for monkey run pun? Good morning. Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello. Good morning.
Bring it right closer to me if you can.
Hello. Good morning.
Yes, sir. I can hear you ever so far away from me. But thank you for calling. What's your first name and what parish are you watching from?
My name is Joshua. I'm from St. Joseph.
Hello, Joshua of St. Joseph. Where exactly in St. Joseph, Joshua?
Cleversville, St. Joseph.
Oh, listen, hold on. We had a call from Cleversville last week. Did you hear that person?
That's my father.
So there's a discussion going on in the household, right?
Yes, please.
So daddy called, daddy got it right, and you're calling now. I hope you get it right too. How old are you, Joshua?
I'm 15 years old.
15. But Joshua, you don't know this saying? I could bet that you don't know never walk ground for monkey run pan. I could
But
bet
I
you don't
get
know.
it right.
Let me hear you. What does it mean? Josh?
Don't fashion a woman for any man.
No, Joshua, not that one, not that one. No. Thank you, here. In a sense, I suppose, but no, don't find that woman for another man. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Never walk ground for monkey run bun. Y'all heard Josh? Did you guys hear Joshua? I love it. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Never walk ground for monkey run pan. So what does that mean? What does that mean? I think in a sense, Josh is kind of close, but I want to hear from you now. What does it mean when we say, Barbadians, never walk ground for monkey run bun? What does that mean? How Bajan truly are you? How Bajan are you? Shocker. 228-5562 or 228-5563. You don't know this? You're going to let a little 15-year-old come and beat you on this? Never walk ground for monkey run pan? 228-5562, 228-5563. And if you don't answer me, then I will have to give it to Joshua. But what does it mean, you think? 228-5562 or 228-5563. Never walk ground for monkey run pan. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. What about you?
Oh, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. First name and the parish that you're watching from?
Alicia, Christchurch.
I know it's you. I know it's you. So how are you doing today?
Good.
Don't bring that one to me, Alicia. Means not so good, but all right, right?
Yes, please.
All right, fair enough. What do you think it means, never walk ground for monkey run pan?
Basically, don't make other people's things better than what you can do for yourself.
That's your answer?
Yeah, like don't
Let me hear you.
make things so good for other people, but then you're not doing it for yourself. Something along those lines.
You thought that by repeating what you said to me would make it right, Alicia? It's still wrong. Thank you, here.
Okay.
All right, Alicia, good girl. She thought that by simply repeating, it would suddenly become right. No, it never works like that. Can we take one more call if we can? 228-5562 or 228-5563, or I will have to give it to Joshua, who came very close. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Never walk ground for monkey run pan. Good morning. Hello.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, how are you?
I'm pretty good, thanks.
First name and parish you're watching from, please.
Lee and Christchurch.
Say the first name again.
Lee.
Lee.
Yes.
Lee is short for?
That's my name, Lee.
L. It's not L-E-E.
No, please. L-E-I-G.
It is L-E-I-G-H. All right, Lee, talk to me. Never walk ground for monkey run pan. What does that mean?
It means like working up a lot of energy or doing all the hard work, and then an ungrateful person come and reap the benefits.
Wow, you know this. Hey, how old are you, Lee?
40.
And you've heard that saying before?
Yes, please.
You have heard this from who?
Pardon?
Your grandmother? Did you hear it from your grandmother, grandfather?
Yes. Yeah, grandparents.
And she said, you listen, sit over here, girl, listen, never walk ground for monkey run pan. And you got it right away. I love it. Lee, you're so right. It says you should not exert in great energy on a venture, knowing that unworthy person will reap the benefit. Well done. Or as Joshua said, go find that woman for another man. Thank you, Lee. Have a good morning. Thank you. All right?
Bye. Thank
Good.
you.
Well done indeed. Thank you all for participating. If time permits, we have some more during the morning. We'll take a break here and get ready for the news.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Some ants
What makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up.
Morning Barbados will be coming to your parish live every Friday until November. Stay tuned from 6:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. to see which parish we're in. Join us for it all.
Good morning, morning Barbados, good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up, morning to you.
Come on, you family, make some noise. Are you ready?
Q in the Community is on every Thursday in a community near you.
Q in the community is well and alive.
Come on down and, have a line with all of me. The more mature folk come to dance, to sing.
Scrape the bones smooth.
Q in the Community is your place to meet friends, to socialize, and just to be you.
Yes, come on down and take in the karaoke.
Whether you're coming from north, south, east, or west, we have a bus for you.
Q in the Community.
Stay tuned to Q100.7 FM to find out where we will be next and follow us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
A look at the news now. There's another death in Barbados as a result of gun violence. Last night around 10:15, law enforcement received a report of a man reportedly shot who then ran into the Granville Williams bus terminal. It was there that he collapsed and he died. Up to late last night, the police were still on the scene. Meanwhile, the police are also on the case of a 26-year-old Kobe Shepherd of Bedford Lane, Upper Roebuck Street, who was killed during a drive-by shooting in the city on Sunday morning. According to Police Communications and Public Affairs Officer Rodney Innes, Shepherd was shot multiple times about his body by a pillion rider aboard a motorcycle while he was standing by a house. That incident occurred around 10:40 in the morning at Gills Road. Police say two men on board that motorcycle escaped along Roebuck Street towards Tweedside Road. Shepherd was taken to the hospital by private transport but was pronounced dead on arrival. Lawmen are asking anyone who may have information relative to this incident to contact Crime Stoppers at 1-800-8477 or contact the nearest police station. There is a sizable number of doctors in Barbados who are yet to include medicinal cannabis in the care of patients, but that percentage is reducing. The acting chief executive officer of the Barbados Medicinal Cannabis Licensing Authority, Senator Shanika Roberts-Odell, says as they continue to push the drug as a viable alternative, they would like patients to join in the fight.
Has been building. We would have done our very best. As I indicated earlier, we met with a lot of these stakeholders very early in this process. And the medical community would have been a significant stakeholder in this. We would have done an IRB study. And we went through various medical practitioners to kind of look at, what they thought about this, what they were willing to do, how they plan to integrate that into their particular practice. And one thing I can say is that you will have persons who are on board and some who aren't on board. But what I find is that more and more medical practitioners are coming on board, more pharmacies are coming on board, and there are a lot of nurses, I find, who are very ready to look at medicinal cannabis and to be able to integrate that into their treatment of individuals. One of the things we have 2 medical persons, we also have a pharmacist on our board. And those kinds of perspectives have also helped us in how we relate to the medical community and how do we share information. And the medical community themselves, because there is a great advocate we have out there, that's patients. Patients are important. There are a lot of patients who have taken the time to research medicinal cannabis. They felt their pain. They felt all of the various issues and side effects they have from other kinds of medication that they're taking. And their position sometimes when they go to their doctor is, look, I've researched this. I want to try this. And a patient is their own best advocate sometimes, because that then forces a doctor who may have been, a little less interested to say, okay, let me take some time. Let me look into this. And then I will determine whether or not I feel that this is best for you.
Senator Roberts Odell noted that one category of medical personnel which is reportedly on board with medicinal cannabis is the group of doctors and nurses involved in palliative care.
They have been advocating and they have been issuing. And I think because it's not done in a big splash where no one puts up a big billboard saying, I've issued medicinal cannabis. Yep. Some people may have been missing that. But next time you walk into your pharmacy, take a look, ask a question.
Well, the CEO says there's a plan to get more buy-in from pharmacists as they've prepared a memorandum of understanding with the Ministry of Health and the Barbados Drug Service.
We're just waiting to sign the MOU with them that kind of sets out our relationship and how we're going to work together to ensure that the industry is exactly what it needs to be for the betterment of Barbadians as it relates to the medicine aspects of those things. And we never stopped our engagement with the medical community. Next year, for our anniversary in January, we will be having a forum in which to talk about how things are going, how do they understand the industry and the medicines, and to be able to continue to provide education from those who would have used it for various kinds of treatments, and to be able to put that information before the medical community, before the pharmacists, the nurses, and the doctors. So that is also very much part of our mission, to educate as we move forward, to be able to move the industry forward, and to make sure that Barbadians and our various stakeholders come with us. The question was asked, you're going into this industry about something that we're all told to stay away from. And it proved to be that we need to be able to speak to them, because we have to be able to address what they may view as a hypocrisy. We have to be able to educate them about how we're doing this, why we're doing this, and why this is a medicine for medicinal use at this point in time, and how we want them, or the National Council on Substance Abuse, may want them to be able to be aware of the distinction and the difference.
Dominicans will be going to the polls on December the 6th. The Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit made that announcement last night in a national address.
I want for the year 2023 to begin with a fresh mandate given to a fresh Labour team to commence the work of building post-COVID Dominica. With this in mind, today I wrote to His Excellency the President and advised he dissolves the current Parliament of this country effective immediately. I have asked that a fresh writ be issued on Monday, 7th November 2022 for the holding of general elections in the Commonwealth of Dominica. The Dominica Labour Party will reveal its new look slate of candidates in Roseau on Tuesday, November 8th. Nomination day in Dominica shall be Friday, the 18th of November 2022. General elections day in Dominica, the day on which the Labour Party will be seeking a fresh mandate with a fresh team, is Tuesday, 6th December 2022.
Well, that's our news until now. More news coming up at 12 noon in CBC Newsday right here on Bajan TV, TV8. We'll take a break here. We're coming back with more on Morning Barbados in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
Because you love English Premier League, MCTV has got it back. Now you can watch all the games of the English Premier League plus UEFA and NFL on MCTV. Current customers can upgrade to Max Pack Extra at just $23. Call MCTV today at 228-6288 to upgrade or come in and sign up for our new service. Football fans, let MCTV get you back in the game.
When disaster threatens, it is comforting to know there's a team working to deliver credible, comprehensive, and up-to-date information. A team that is committed to serving you. A team that will be there before, during, and after the disaster. That is Team CBC, here for you this hurricane season.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Approaching 30 minutes now after 7 o'clock, you would have, I suppose, heard about the upcoming Barbados Deaf Calypso project. And you're thinking, deaf? Music? How do you do that? But it's all part of the raising of awareness of people who are hard of hearing and who are deaf, and how they are also a part of our society doing regular things like quote-unquote regular people. Joining us as we focus in on the work of the Barbados Deaf Association and the upcoming project as well is Bonnie Leon. So our good friend, we know her so well, champion of the deaf in Barbados, and also Ruth Montgomery, who is the producer of the Barbados Deaf Calypso project and the founder of Audio Visibility. Good morning, both of you. Yes, that and the sun rises. Good. I'm working on it, Bonnie. I'm working on it. But you know, Bonnie, you have been for a long time now at the forefront, really at the forefront of agitating for some inclusivity for people who are deaf, who are hard of hearing. How does it feel to know that now so many more people are knowing about it?
Okay, it's really good that people are really beginning to understand and acknowledge that people are there. They're part of our society. They're not just tucked away in a corner, but they do banking, they pay their bills, they go shopping, everything. So it's really good to know that people are beginning to acknowledge that deaf people really are a part of society. And I guess that's what Ruth will explain, how the project fits in with our local deaf community.
But how are deaf people fitting in, though? How is society fitting into the world of people who are hard of hearing or who are deaf? How are we integrating?
We're offering, businesses are offering more opportunities. Recently, we had some businesses. The Barbados Council for the Disabled was really championing for businesses to allow deaf people to work not work, but have an internship period there at some businesses. And it's been really successful. We've had one or two businesses who decided to keep them as after their internship. So we're seeing that people can work, they can learn on the job. We're seeing the mainstreaming more of deaf children, not deaf children, but deaf adults
Yes.
into schools, hearing schools. We're seeing a lot more integration. It's baby steps, but we're hoping to see more of that happening. And businesses are asking about training their staff to communicate with deaf people when they go into their businesses.
You know, there was a young man who was with us over the summer, and he was so cool. He truly, truly was so cool. I began to pick up a few little bits when it comes to signing, but it just goes to show that people who are hard of hearing or who are deaf look like us, breathe like us, walk like us, and can do everything else that we can do too. It's just another language. And as much as we would go to school to learn French, Spanish, even Latin if necessary, the same should apply for those who are deaf, the opportunity for us to be able to learn their language as well. How do you feel about the agitation for that to happen, Bonnie?
I think that's a phenomenal idea. We've been saying that now for years. You're going to meet a deaf person probably before you meet another person that speaks French or Spanish. Deaf people are everywhere, and they're all over. So it's really important, and it's really important to start teaching children how to sign so that when they grow up, there's less discrimination.
Yes.
Because the discrimination against deaf people are really from adults and not children. You know, children are very accepting and understanding. So when we teach children, then that means our society is better in the long run.
Indeed, and so we can all be better as well. I see Ruth has joined us, and Ruth is nodding away in total agreement with all that you've said thus far. But Ruth, you come from the United Kingdom as a professional musician, a flautist, a music educator, and an artistic director for audio visibility. What about all of this really propels you to work with those who are hard of hearing or deaf?
Hi, good morning. Thank you so much for inviting me here today. The main thing is that most people don't know what deaf culture is or deaf people is, but they know what music is. So by putting the two elements together, I just hope to foster communication, understanding, awareness, showing what we can do as well. Music is the language, another level, and on another level, I just want to show what is possible.
To Barbados, how has it been working with those who are here to really get this project on the ground?
It's been incredible because there is so much passion, and the people here in Barbados have the yes, let's do it attitude as well. And yes, we want it's bringing people together really, deaf and hearing, fostering more understanding and awareness. So yes, it's been amazing.
There is going to be the Calypso Expo, the Calypso competition on the Wednesday coming up, the 9th. And I want to hear now how that will work for those of us who can't yet imagine a deaf person doing music.
Yeah. People need to remember that music and dancing and dance language are all very visual. So on Saturday, the deaf community went to Barbados Community College to find out steel band and percussion, and their music teachers, students, were teaching them how to play and hold the rhythm and all this. It's been amazing. There's a lot of rehearsals behind this and preparation. So it is possible. It's all about trying and giving a go.
And so on Wednesday, when we come to the Lloyd Erskine Sandiford Centre, I believe that's where it is, or is it the Frank Cullimore Hall? I get my location right in just a moment. But when we come to this big Deaf Calypso concert showcase, we will get to see people who are deaf or hard of hearing doing the things to rhythm, to time that we've grown accustomed to with people who do have normal hearing. Would I be right, Ruth?
Absolutely, that's right. We will have deaf people signing the national anthem, the song, as well as playing on steel pan, doing action. So you'll be in for a lovely surprise. So I would recommend that many people come to watch us and see us there.
So right, it's at the Frank Collymore Hall. The Frank Collymore Hall.
Yes.
It starts at 6:15 on the evening of Wednesday. This coming Wednesday is a free sunset concert at the Frank Collymore Hall featuring Sean Forbes, Warren Snipe, the Barbados Community College Steel and Percussion Band, and members of the Bajan Deaf community. And so I've just called a couple names there, Ruth, who people are unfamiliar with, like Sean Forbes, Warren Snipe. Can you tell us a little bit about them?
Yeah, Dawn Forbes and Warren Snipe, as known as Wawa, they are both deaf musicians. They are both rappers, very well known in the deaf community. They use ASL, American Sign Language, which is also the language of Barbadian deaf community. We have been working with Stoker musician Teddy Calderon, who is the musician, and bringing the spirit of the Caribbean into our music track. Also, the music teachers, Andre Ford and Roger Gitton, have been really supportive, bringing in musicians from their college to come together. It's all a very blending kind of music. So that's what we are and who we are.
It's going to be fantastic on Wednesday at 6:15. The Frank Collymore Hall is a free sunset concert. It is not a gimmick, so don't go there to think it's a gimmick. These are real life people who are doing fantastic things, who are deaf, and they're engaging with music, all part of the Audio Visibility Project ongoing. So come witness the Deaf Calypso Concert Showcase at the Frank Collymore Hall, Wednesday, 6:15 in the evening. It's free, but we want as many people to fill the hall with all of this. And if you want to know more about it, you can go to Eventbrite Tickets or go to the website thecalypsoproject.com, thecalypsoproject.com. But be at the Frank Collymore Hall Wednesday for 6:15. Thank you so much, Bonnie. Thank you so much, Ruth. I wish you best on Wednesday with the Calypso Project. Thank you. Morning Barbados takes a break. We're coming back in just a moment.
What's up? What's up, beautiful people? What's up? I'm excited for the big show on November 9th. Yeah, brother. Tell them where we performing. We're performing in Barbados at the Frank Collymore Hall. It's a beautiful venue. We will have a full band, steel pan drummers too, from the Barbados Community College. Several people from the Barbados Deaf community will perform too. Woo! It's going to be a great show. We will share new songs as part of the Calypso Project. The show will be on Wednesday, November 9th. At the time of 6:15 in the evening. The show is free to attend and will be live streamed for everyone around the world to watch. Let's go! Can't wait to get down to Barbados and have some fun. Woo! See you there. Show some love.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.vb. And together we will travel the world.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth. Books over.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
26 minutes now after the hour of 7 o'clock, I introduced him as controversial talk show host. He's simply Peter Wickham. He joins us now because we have some great news. Peter, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Pearson. Good to be with you. Controversial or competent, one of the two. It's good to be with you this morning.
Either C really fits you. Controversial, but also very competent. You find yourself between two bodies of emotions. I like him or I can't stand him. How does that feel?
It's fascinating, but you know, I would say like me or hate me. Just listen to me. That's the important point. But you're right that I seem to generate intense dislike and intense love with equal fervor, and it's fascinating. But you know, I think that people ought to know that I love you all regardless, and I just hope that you give me an opportunity to be heard.
And that opportunity to be heard starts tomorrow with us here at the CBC on Q100.7 FM. And as you said, listen to me. So you're now moving into the seat here, the hot seat here at the CBC as part of our Let's Talk About It show, which starts at 9 o'clock in the morning until 11. We all know the history. We know the past events. Have you learned any lessons? And if so, what lessons have you learned? What would you bring different?
No, I mean, my thing is to be real, to be objective, and to be fearless. And I think that has always been, you know, my situation. CBC is not unfamiliar to me because I've had challenges here in the past. But, you know, my thing is that I'm not going to change the person I am, and I'm not going to change the extent to which I'm fearless and objective in terms of bringing analysis to all kinds of issues. And I think that's going to be consistent. So it's really nothing new. I think that, you know, it's a standard that I think that people have grown to know and to expect. And, you know, it's coincidental that I'm coming literally on the eve of another general election. And I think that the situation in Dominica that has just presented itself. So I think that we're going to have some good conversations tomorrow because I do feel that I have the capacity to bring a breadth of knowledge of Caribbean politics, which, you know, you have a difficulty matching in the region. And I do hope that we can have some interesting conversations on that and other social issues from time to time.
I'm glad you said you're not going to change. Oftentimes perception precedes us, and you know, people think that, okay, look at where he is now, so maybe he can't this or maybe he can't that. But what we do here, a lot of people don't know, is that we do still allow people to be able to say what they have to say. And so from tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning, when people tune in, they can still engage with the same old Peter Wickham that we've always engaged with on our call-in programs.
Yeah, and that's the important thing. You know, the CBC has the image of essentially being a propaganda agency, and people are always saying, you know, I can't call up there and say A, or I can't call up there and say B. But guess what? You can. And I think it is very brave of CBC's management to take this kind of direction because you know that when you're dealing with Peter Wickham, you're not going to deal with someone that's going to soft soap or be any less real in this environment as I was in the past. And yeah, so I'm hoping that it will be turning a new page and that people will continue to realize that you can, you know, if you feel you want to cuss the government, what better place to do it than on CBC, where they're probably going to hear you more quickly than anywhere else.
So if you heard Peter's invitation tomorrow morning, if that's what you want to do with him, Peter Wickham, you can call him on 434-1007 or 434-1070. Those are the numbers to call tomorrow morning when Peter is on. Now, you also, while I have you here, you mentioned, and it's a reality because the announcement was made just last evening about the elections in Dominica. Give us your broad view as to the dynamics there in these elections.
Yeah, I mean, it caught a lot of people by surprise. I mean, me less so, because I was in on the well, one could say the preparation, and I had an idea that this is something that was going to happen. But, you know, the Dickon Mitchell election that was just won in Grenada, this is under a year ago, has essentially sent a signal in terms of Caribbean politics. And I was saying from then that there are two leaders in the Caribbean that have to look at their situation. And one is Roosevelt Skerrit, the other one is Dr. Ralph Gonzalez. So he said Dr. Gonzalez to say, Roosevelt Skerrit is peculiar. He is the youngest leader in the Caribbean that has ever served 4 terms before. He's the only person in the world, really, that has ever served 4 terms before he has been 50. He was the youngest ever head of state when he was made prime minister at 27. He's a fascinating person, and he has done well in elections over the years where he has essentially dominated the political landscape. The concern is now that he has gotten not old, but certainly he's been in office long enough that there may be some current concerns about change of leadership, which is identical to the situation in Grenada. What has since has happened is that Roosevelt Skerrit, Prime Minister Skerrit, appreciates that if the UWP in Dominica were to do exactly what the NDC did in Grenada and bring fresh blood in, it could mean disaster for him politically if he waited until the election was due in 2025, I believe, or 2024, I believe is when it will be due. If you wait that long, you are likely to go the way of Keith Mitchell in Grenada, who was essentially a political juggernaut in the same way that he is, but he felt this desire for change, for something new. So my sense is that he's decided to forestall that by not even giving them the opportunity to choose a new leader, because of course the UWP has indicated that the old leader, Leonard Clinton, is leaving. He's indicated he's leaving. He said there's political infighting, and he will give opportunity for a new leader. Now, we don't know who that new leader will be, but we saw in Grenada that, you know, in less than a year, Dickon Mitchell was able to rise to power and to unseat one of the most credible political forces in the Caribbean. And I think that the Prime Minister Skerrit is thinking, he's shrewd. He is thinking and understands that his political survival depends heavily on not giving the alternative an opportunity to catch himself. He's called an election. Essentially, Dominicans have very little choice because they voted unenthusiastically for Leonard Clinton in the past. And now they're told that Leonard Clinton is no longer leading the party, a new person is not chosen. So essentially you have an election on the 7th of December, and there's really only one person on the ballot. Frankly, I wonder whether the UWP would even contest it. They may boycott it. And there are good reasons why they could boycott it. And I wonder whether that may not be the best thing to do, because I can just see political carnage on an unprecedented scale if they decide to go into this election and fight it in a situation where they have no leader, quite frankly.
Boycott can also come with the other point of view, which is, oh, so you give up, essentially, and that in itself too can have long-lasting repercussions.
Well, remember Jamaica, I believe it was in the 1980s, the PNP boycotted an election that the JLP was set to stage and allowed the JLP to win all the seats. They had parliament from outside, they call it the People's Parliament, and they were actually able to bring Jamaica back to the polls based on their agitation in less than 5 years. Their argument at that time was that the voters list was not ready, and how could you possibly have an election if the voters list is not ready? Guess what? In Dominica, there are the same concerns, that there's electoral reform. It was started under the previous, under this administration after the last election, against the background of significant cause, and everyone agrees that Dominica needs electoral reform. That process has not been finished, but they're going back to the polls. So I wonder whether their strategy might be to say, look, we're not giving up, but the fact is that we can't fight because the playing field is not level. And, you know, we think the best thing to do at this stage is back off. If I were advising them, frankly, I would tell them that that's the way to go, because what's the sense of going into a political battle that you know that you basically cannot win? And if you don't contest the election, it gives you greater moral authority to challenge the legitimacy of it and to demand fresh elections at a later point in time. If you go in and you fight the election, ultimately you're saying, you know what, I can compete on this basis, and you're going to be beaten and beaten badly. And you know, the reality is that it's not going to make it easy for you to be able to recover at a later date.
Peter Boyd, listen, this is a discussion I wish I could sink my teeth into right now with you, but I cannot. Time is against me. But
tomorrow 9 o'clock.
You got that right. Tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock on the dot. Be at your radios and be at your telephones as well. Peter Wickham is on Let's Talk About It on Q 100.7 FM. Note the dial number 100.7 and the numbers to call to engage with Peter. As controversial as he is, whether you like him or love him, then you can call him on 434-1007 or 434-1070 tomorrow morning, Tuesday, on Let's Talk About It. Peter, thank you and welcome aboard.
My pleasure. Thank you. Good to be with you again, person.
All right, take care, my friend. Morning Barbados takes a break here. We're coming back in just a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados will love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up.
Morning Barbados will be coming to your parish live every Friday until November. Stay tuned from 6:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. to see which parish we're in. Join us for it all.
Good morning, morning Barbados, good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up, morning to you.
Come on, you family, make some noise. Are you ready?
Q in the Community is on every Thursday in a community near you.
Q in the community is well and alive.
Come on down and, have a line with all of me. The more mature folk come to dance, to sing.
Keep the bones smooth.
Q in the Community is your place to meet friends, to socialize, and just to be you.
Yes, come on down and take in the karaoke.
Whether you're coming from north, south, east, or west, we have a bus for you.
Q in the Community.
Stay tuned to Q100.7 FM to find out where we will be next. And follow us on Facebook. Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCT.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Slow down. Never ever let a man use and abuse you. Slow down. Keep your head to the sky and make them respect you. Can we have a little picnic? Sad and so you're going astray. And you're breaking up the family before a baby first birthday. You know I was the provider, and when I work, you got every cent. I used to work for the government, but now they put me on retrenchment. He is a player, you are a victim. Girl, you're moving in the wrong direction. He is a player, you are a victim. Baby, you're just another one. Slow down, honey, there is no need to begin a hurry. Slow down, baby, value yourself and value your body. Slow down, never ever let a man use and abuse you. Slow down, keep your head to the sky and make them respect you.
If you're watching, you're saying, but hold on, that's a little boy who used to sing in the Church of God of Prophecy at Hillaby St. Andrew. Is that him? That is him, Orlando Hines. Good morning, Orlando.
Good morning.
Do you remember those days? Do you remember those days of singing in the band at your church?
Yes, I do. I used to get up in the morning on Sunday mornings. My grandmother never used to go to church, but she used to make sure I have to get there. I have to be there.
And look at you now.
Enjoy singing.
Look at you now. I mean, recording artist. You have your videos out. And what is it? How does it feel for you to watch your life over that span of time to where you are now?
Feels great. Know where I come from. Back then, never used to do much. Just singing in the church choir. Now it feels really great. What I'm doing, I love singing. Always I love singing, and I love doing what I'm doing.
You're in Barbados at the moment. You had migrated to Brooklyn, and you come here every year. Why?
I come here to support the richest folk in town. It's a pleasure seeing those kids doing what they do, and I have to big up Mr. Stout for what he's doing. You know, every year he put those kids out there, and I have always looked up to him, and I've always admired what he does.
And we admire the work you've done too. Now, this one called "Slow Down," which we just saw and we just heard. Tell us a little bit about it. I understand this is a collaboration between yourself and the mighty Gabby.
Yes. I was trying to write the song. Not trying, I was writing the song. And Gabby called me that morning when I was writing the song, and he said, I'm here, I'm trying to put the song together. He said, do you want help? I said, sure, you're always welcome to help me. But he's another performer that I always look up to as well. He said, send me the music, I'll help you with the song. In 5 minutes, Gabby called me back, and the song was written. But then, after I got the song, and I changed up the chorus parts in it, and here it is.
What's the message in the song, Slow Down?
The message is teaching people not to let people, women, especially young women, to let these players out there use them and abuse them. A lot of that been going on for years, and you know, women should look up and respect themselves, and you know, and start letting these guys abuse them. Whether it be man, woman, child, whoever. Don't let nobody abuse you. That's what the message in the song.
So the message is to the women folk only? Slow down?
Anybody. Anybody, but mostly women.
Just checking, you know, because sometimes life can take us down some turns and we find ourselves going at a speed that we didn't quite anticipate. So you're saying, hold on, slow down, and then you can recognize before you make the turns in life that you may regret. And so this song then is available on how? How can people get to engage with your song more?
It's on all the platforms out there, Spotify, whatever platform you should go on, the song's available. It's on all the platforms out there.
Now, there's some beautiful sights in the video. Talk to me. Where was it filmed?
I was filmed in New York. That's over by the White Stone Bridge, also by the Arizona Bridge, and the junction in Brooklyn, in Flatbush.
This is great. It's a beautiful song based upon the bit I've heard thus far. And I really want to commend you, Orlando, you know, as a good old St. Leonard's schoolboy, you know, and then having gone to church in Hillaby, St. Andrew, and playing in the band. One of the things that you also noted is that you would love to see more being done for Barbadian entertainers who reside overseas. What do you mean when you say that?
Down here, my music, for example, played all over the world. Here, I get a very hard time getting my music played down here. If I get an interview, the music is being played there, and after that, you know, you don't hear too much of the music. I've been down here now for 2 weeks, and I haven't heard one of my songs played. And you know, and the other entertainers up there, they get a very hard time getting the music played down here. And I think it's really, you know, really bad for us because we are Bajans too, and all music deserves to be played. Right now, I got another soca song out there called "Get Down." That song is getting over 1,500 hits a day. And you know, from all over. I haven't heard the song played here once since we're here, and that's not nice. But we're Bajans, you know what I'm saying?
I got you. So we can do better where that's concerned. And we will strive to do so, Orlando. But I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning indeed, and best of luck on all of your projects and your future projects. And perhaps we will interact with you again sometime soon, Orlando Hines. Thank you.
Before we go, can I just say this? I performed at the Richard Stout show last night. That show was off the hook. Amazing, what those kids did. And, you know, I think that more should be done for those kids. Kids are really talented, and I want to congratulate Mr. Stout for what he does. He don't only help the talent, he does a lot for the people behind the scenes. Because every time I call Stout, it's like, I'm doing this for this body, I'm doing that for the next person. And I think he should be, you know, be rewarded for the stuff that he does.
Thank you so much, Orlando, for that as well. All right, thank you. All the best. Morning Barbados takes a break. When we come back, we're meeting the winner of Peace Pundy Mike and more in just a moment.
Slow down, keep your head sky and make them respect you. Girl, we have a little picnic, sad and so you're going astray. And you're breaking up the family before a baby first birthday. You know I was deep.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
Because you love English Premier League, MCTV has got it back. Now you can watch all the games of the English Premier League plus UEFA and NFL on MCTV. Current customers can upgrade to Max Pack Extra at just $23. Call MCTV today at 228-6288 to upgrade or come in and sign up for our new service. Football fans, let MCTV get you back in the game.
When disaster threatens, it is comforting to know there's a team working to deliver credible, comprehensive, and up-to-date information. A team that is committed to serving you. A team that will be there before, during, and after the disaster. That is Team CBC, here for you this hurricane season.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It is time to know Barbados and Win. To know Barbados and Win means you have to pay attention to your screen. You will have to correctly identify the location on your screen. When you do, we will take some information from you, drop your name into the big box, and we'll make a draw every Monday. Now, today being Monday, we are making draw number 1 for week number 1. We started last week. So do we have a winner on the line? Let's see if we get that first week's winner. We made a draw this morning. Let's see if we can get that winner on the line. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
I am well, thank you. What about yourself?
Oh, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Your name is Tony, isn't it?
Yes, please.
So, Tony, you have any idea why you're on the phone with us?
I do.
What is the reason?
I was told that I was one of the winners of your competition.
And who told you that?
I think it was your producer.
I was only calling you to say hello, that's all? So I don't understand why would it tell you something like that? Tony?
And it just have me smiling. I am so fussy.
And so, unsmile and get unfussy. Just kidding you, Tony Ann. You're absolutely a winner indeed, Tony Ann. So, congratulations to you. I'm trying to remember, which picture was it that you were able to identify?
It was my daughter, actually.
Mm-hmm.
She helped me identify River Bay and St. Lucie.
Yes, it was you. Yes. It was you. I now remember. It was actually Animal Floor Cave.
Yes, please. You see,
I
that's why I needed my daughter.
I think that's why you will need her every day, indeed. So, Tony Ann, congratulations. Someone from our marketing department will be contacting you with a bit more information, all right?
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you for being a good sport. Now, let's share with you today's picture. Pay attention, quick. Pay attention. You don't have a lot of time to give me a call on 228-5562 or 228-5563. If you answer correctly, like Tony Ann, your name will go into the box and perhaps yours will be the one pulled on Monday when we give you that call. So try to tell me quickly where this is. There it is. Get this wrong and blame yourself. 228-5562 or 228-5563. Where is this? That's what I want to know from you. Know your Barbados and win. And winning today means your name goes into the box. Quickly call me now. 228-5562 or 63. Where is this? Good morning. Hello.
Good morning. Hello.
Hello, 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 hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Not too bad, Pearson. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. First name and parish.
Okay. The first name is Ricky, and I'm calling from St. George.
Ricky of St. George. Ricky from St. George. Where is this?
I'm going to take a wild guess. Looks like the Garrison Savannah.
What do you mean you have to? What do you mean by you have to take a wild guess? Why do you have to guess? Talk to me, Ricky. Why is this a guess?
Let me be more positive. It's the Garrison Savannah.
You sure that's are you sure this is not the University of the West Indies? Look at it very carefully. Look at it very carefully. Are you sure this is not the University of the West Indies, Kefil?
Pearson, if
Ricky?
it was, you wouldn't be giving it away to me.
I ain't giving it away. I asked you if you're not sure. I just want to be sure. Look at it again. I'm giving you a chance to fix yourself. Ricky, you sure?
I'm sticking with the Garrison Savannah.
All right, you stick with that then. I stick it with you, okay? Ricky, you're spot on. Well done, my friend. Stay on the phone. We take some more information from you, all right?
Thank you.
So, all right, good boy. Ricky is in the box this Monday morning, so his name goes in for a chance to win. Thanks to our partners, Purity Bakeries, the Barbados Beach Club, Seabreeze House, Aqua Spa, Oro Restaurant, Ross Trevor Hotel, and Golden Sands Hotel, and Love Top Barbados Domino's players at the event. Okay, right. So congratulations to you, Ricky, indeed. So what do we do? Do we do Give Me Peace on the mic? I think we shall. So you want to Give Me Peace on the mic? On Saturday, if you were watching, you would have seen the final of Give Me Peace on the mic. The contestants were in, and we'll share with you who the winner is in just a moment. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up.
Morning Barbados will be coming to your parish live every Friday until November. Stay tuned from 6:30 a.m. to 8 a.m. to see which parish we're in. Join us for it all.
Good morning, morning Barbados. Good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Come on, you family, make some noise. Are you ready?
Q in the Community is on every Thursday in a community near you.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Give me peace on the mic. Murder is one way to die, but a lot of youth take them own life. Money run, we struggle for survive, but we never stress about suicide. Division of youth, we need more than a lending air. Reform to we social care. For this violence among youth to stop, we need to start from the bottom to the top. Never judge a book by its cover. You don't know the pain half of them are cover. Debts to pay, so they gotta pull the trigger. Suicidal, but they gotta get each other. You don't wanna be a murderer.
Joshua? That's Joshua Moore, who is the winner of the just concluded Peace on the Mic, Give Me Peace on the Mic. And joining me now to celebrate is Joshua himself and Corey Marshall, who is one of the coordinators indeed. Good morning, both of you.
Hey, good morning, Pearson.
Good morning.
Good morning, Barbados.
Joshua, you did it. Were you stunned?
Yes, it was.
I know, because for you, this was one of the first times entering the competition, period. And here it was, you entered and you won. Talk to me about what it meant when you stood on stage and the music started and you performed.
Well, honestly, for me, going out there performing, I went with a purpose. I had a story to tell, and I just connected with my story, and I told my story. That was the most important thing for me. I didn't know how well it would translate, but I know that I wanted to focus on the topic of suicide, and so I went out there and I did my best, and I just gave it my all.
So you sat there, you gave it your all, and you waited. You waited. And you waited, and then it was time for the announcement, and you were waiting because you were trembling. Don't tell me you were trembling, and then your name was called. Talk to me about that emotion when you heard your name being called as the winner.
It's honestly very emotional for me because I don't take it as a win for me. It's just a win for everyone that I know who has lost someone to suicide, who's lost someone to violence. So it was very emotional. It was an emotional feeling.
Oh boy.
I was trying to hold it in. I was just like really trying to.
You did well. You did well. You held it in very well. And so, Corey, another one down. Another one down. That's edition 2 down. But this young man came in as the wild card.
Yes, he did. And I also want to highlight that Joshua Moore was the first person to submit an entry for the competition as well.
Really?
So not just that he was selected as the wild card, but he was also the first person to submit an entry. So I guess we made history on more than one front. We actually had Joshua's placing first and second in this year's competition. We had a wild card winning the competition, and we had the first person to submit an entry winning the competition as well. So I guess we made history on a number of fronts this year for Give Me Peace on the Mic.
Oh, you did well. You did well. Let's do a quick review of it for you, Corey. From your point of view, how would you describe? How would you do? What postmortem? What would you say?
Okay, the committee, we are actually going to do a postmortem this week, but to do one here this morning, I would say that the event was a success. We met most of our, if not all of our objectives. The new initiatives this year, we look to reach out to the persons on the block so that we get all sectors of society. And we had a successful pop-up roadshow on the 15th of October. We decided that we needed to lend some assistance to the young persons, even though they are very good in their related field. We decided that we needed to lend some assistance as it relates to technical support. So this year we had a sound engineer, and I want to put a plug here and say that we are committed to youth development at the Division of Youth Affairs. Everyone on our set were young persons. The sound engineer, Joshua Drakes, aka Stage Name Stamina, he is 24 years old, and he actually provided the beats for the person that won the competition and the person that was the second runner-up as well. So we had a clinic for all the participants the week of the show. We also had rehearsals at CBC this week. So in my postmortem, I would say that the event was a success. The quality of the pieces that went forward to the finals was extremely high. I did not, personally, I watched everyone and I could not pick a winner. So the judges did a really good job. So I want to just take this opportunity really quickly to mention the persons working behind the scene to make the event a success. I had a very hard-working committee led by the head of our department, Mrs. Andrea Titus. We had Kedria Ruitt, we had Tamisha Dowdy, we had Kizzy Cumberbatch, Azaki Musa, Ramat Jean-Pierre, Sharice Catwell, Kurt All Around Brown, and everything was glued together by our public relations liaison officer, Miss Wanda Reed Beckles. She mentioned to me on Saturday that I made her miserable. I called at 2 o'clock in the morning to make sure that this event was a success. And we also have, you mentioned at the beginning of the program that we are into the second year and we'll probably be back again. I can't speak directly to policy, but what I can speak to is the commitment to youth development by our minister, the Honorable Charles Griffith, and also our permanent secretary, Mrs. Yolanda Howard. So their commitment to youth development, I guess, will propel us to do Give Me Peace on the Mic tree.
I am sure. Well, I want to wish both of you and your whole committee and the division much success going forward. So Joshua Moore is his name. He's the winner of Give Me Peace on the Mic Edition 2. And Corey Marshall is his game because this man is really good. He pulls it all together very, very well. To you and your team and to all of you, much success in the future. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
You're welcome. And that's it for today's edition of Morning Barbados. Thanks to my producer, Nadia Foster today. Samuel Mason has been technical director. Christopher Blemon at sound. And Tamisha Green, I believe it is, who's at master control. So I'm Pearson Boyd. For each of them, to all of you, we say thank you. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.